Hump day. Hump day on deck. Shalom, 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 peace. You've reached DSTM. Don't shoot the messenger. This is your brother Amath. I acquire first name. IQ is all the same. Hopefully everybody is well on this hump day. It's Hebrew hump day, man. We halfway through the week. Most I permit we make it to the finish line that Sabbath, right? Um, if you haven't done so already, man, please be sure that you wipe your feet before you come into the house. That's right, three in a row. Three in a row. The Most High's giving me a little spare time this week, so hey, what better way than to share some information with the fam? Um, let's get right to it, man. Let's get right to it. I'm not gonna be before y'all too long, but I definitely need to hit up and share with y'all what's been happening in the world. Many of y'all may have seen or heard by now. There's been a massive earthquake in Afghan, man. The damn sand niggas over there, man. Ishmael can't catch a break. They got famine over there, war over there. Now they just got hit upside the head with this earthquake. I mean, can you imagine though? But think of the atrocities that they did to the children of Israel, man. Just do some homework regarding the transatlantic slave trade, the sub-Saharan slave trade, and the atrocities that they did to our people, man. And then before you shed a tear, do that first. Do that first. Before you shed a tear, man, do some research about the Crusades and see what Ishmael was doing, wreaking havoc in the earth in the name of Allah. Huh? So let's get to it. Let's get to it. Let me share this real quick with y'all. Look at it. But this is part for the course in regards to prophecy, judgment, and understanding where the will of the Most High is, man. Let's get a scripture first. Mark 13 and 8. For nation shall rise against nation. We do see that now, do we not? Nationality rising against nationality. We're seeing more nationalist movements that's even happening, right? They're talking about the right-wing movements, the skinhead movements, the white supremacist movements. They're out here, falsely labeling us black identity extremists, the BHI movements, and all that other foolishness, right? So we're seeing a rise in hate crimes. Look, even Moab is catching a little hell with the anti-hate bill that Slow Biden was quick to sign as soon as he got his little narrow ass in a seat in the White House. We haven't seen no anti-hate bill for the so-called blacks and Hispanics, have we? We haven't seen a deep investigation on the missing black and Native American women, have we? Has been a national emergency alerted regarding the story I put out on Monday, and brothers and that's in the know, sister that's in the know regarding the missing black women, let alone the child trafficking rings that's going on. I mean, is there a national emergency out on that yet? No. This is why a nation is going to be rising against a nation, man. Kingdom against kingdom. So we are seeing warfare amongst kingdoms right now. Russia, Ukraine, we're seeing it between South Korea, North Korea. We're seeing it between China and Taiwan. We're seeing it between Iran and Israel. We're seeing it over in man, they got wars going on over there in Africa. War is on the horizon. NATO, America, right? So kingdoms are rising against kingdoms, rising up. And there shall be earthquakes in diverse places. I mean, there's been earthquakes from Kentucky, Oklahoma, Hawaii, Alaska, all the way to Afghanistan. This is where you're talking about diverse places, man. I've shown before the seismic activity that's happening throughout the world. You know what? I'm gonna show y'all one more time. Let me show y'all one more time. Let's just see what we got. And this site right here is by the minute as activity is going. Here, you got Activity down here in Ecuador. Trying to see if they will let me move over a little bit. Texas, New Mexico, Puerto Rico. That's just today. I mean, let me look. There we go. Now we're talking worldwide. See, you seeing it happen in Tonga? There's Iran got hit. Here's the one. Nepal. I mean, you're talking about earthquakes in diverse places, man. You want to see the dates? Here they go right here. This is all today, 6/22/2022. Nepal, Puerto Rico, Taiwan, Iran, Hawaii. And they don't always, the description didn't say they all have to be 8.9s. It's the fact that earthquakes are being recorded in diverse places. Alaska, Japan, another one in Iran. This is all today. All today. Look down here. You see the date. 6/22/2022. Okay. Point made. There shall be earthquakes in diverse places, and there shall be famines and troubles. I mean, hello. Need we talk about the fertilizer shortage? Need we talk about the wheat and grain shortages? Need we talk about the diesel fuel shortages so that the trucks can't come in? Do we got to talk about the thousands of dead cows that happened last week? Do we have to talk about all of the food processing plants that's been shut down, blown up, put on fire? Do we need to talk about those? Inflation, stagflation, causing famines. Third world countries are still already in starvation mode, fighting over food, baby formula shortages. And you talk about and more troubles to come. More heinous crimes are happening in the streets, robberies, murders, kidnappings. And more troubles to come. And we're talking about World War III still on the horizon. All of these things is in the midst right now. These are the beginning of sorrows. That's what's so scary. That's what makes all this so scary, right? This is the beginning. He think he's seen it all. It's just the beginning of sorrows, homeboy. Afghanistan quake kills 1,000 people, the deadliest in decades. Uganian, Afghanistan, a powerful earthquake struck a rugged mountainous region of the eastern Afghanistan early Wednesday, flattening stone and mud brick homes and killing at least 1,000 people. The disaster posed a new test for Afghanistan's Taliban rulers and relief agencies already struggling with the country's multiple humanitarian crises. The quake was Afghanistan's deadliest in 2 decades, and officials said the toll could rise. An estimated 1,500 others were reported injured, the state-run news agency said. The disaster inflicted by the 6.1 magnitude quake heaps more misery on a country where millions... Well, let's just look at that then. That's just in the spirit, as we just talked about famine. 1.1 million Afghan children could face severe malnutrition. Severe. This is what we're talking about with the food prices. This is what we're talking about with the lack of food imports hitting. This is in the spirit. I just got to ride with it then, forget it. And in Afghanistan, 1.1 million children under the age of 5 will likely face the most severe form of malnutrition this year, according to the UN, as increasing numbers of hungry, wasting away children are brought into hospital wards. UN and other aid agencies were able to stave off outright famine after the Taliban take over Afghanistan last year, rolling out a massive emergency aid program that fed millions. That's from the UN and other aid agencies. Well, you remember who left them hanging as they were clinging on the planes and all of that, falling off the planes in Afghanistan in August. Slow Biden said, we're out of here. but they are struggling to keep pace with the relentless worsening conditions. Poverty is spiraling and making more Afghans in need of aid. Global food prices are mounting from the war in Ukraine, and promises of international funding so far are not coming through, according to an assessment report issued this month. So the famine is still plaguing this place, man. Well, Ishmael is reaping what they sown, man, as far as I'm concerned. The quake was Afghanistan's deadliest in 2 decades, and officials said the toll could rise. An estimated 1,500 others were reported injured, and the state-run news agency said the disaster inflicted by the 6.1 magnitude quake heaps more misery on a country where millions face increasing hunger and poverty, and the health system has been crumbling since the Taliban retook power nearly 10 months ago amid the U.S. and NATO withdrawal. Well, where did they go to? They said, well, we got to go take care of Ukraine now. That's a bigger fish for us to fry in the grand scheme of things of setting up the new world order. The takeover led to a cutoff of vital international financing, and most of the world has shunned the Taliban government. All right, so we see what happened and what has happened over there. Look at this guy, man. He's all jacked up. Well, there you have it. Damn, with some dogs down there? No, those look like goats. Hey, Caesar Borgia. Caesar's out there, man. Maybe they could maybe he'll bless him, man. Maybe he'll perform some miracles for him, man, since he loves the whole world. I mean, what makes this depiction right here, man, look any different than the ones that you damn Negroes is out there bowing down to in these churches and these cathedrals every Sunday? You don't look too much different than the one you got tattooed on your arm. Good Lord. All right, let's move on. Let's move on, man. In the spirit of what I've been talking about for the past 2 episodes, well, this just came across again in the spirit. This ain't some old new look. This is today, June 22nd, 2022. The spirit is, is clear that this needs to be put out there. Almost half of the world's rivers contain dangerous levels of prescription drugs, including antidepressants, antihistamines, and painkillers, the study warns. Well, what have we been talking about the past couple of episodes? Talking about the poisoning and the destruction of the water supply. Infertility drugs, cancer-causing agents, forever, what they call them? Forever, good Lord, I'm drawing a blank, man. Forever chemicals, something like that. If I'm off on that, man, y'all know what it is. Go back 2 episodes, you'll see what we're talking about. But here we're seeing half of the world's rivers, where they actually are receiving much of the water from, is already jacked up and destroyed. Well, we already went over the scripture regarding the earth being defiled and the inhabitants thereof. This is what happens when you let the white man have control of the earth. Scientists tested water samples of 1,052 sites across 104 countries. They found unsafe levels of drugs in 43.5% of the sites. This included antidepressants, painkillers, and antihistamines. Well, then you wonder why the so-called mental health issues is exploding. People are on antipsychotic and antidepressant drugs, and they don't even know it, thinking that their tap water is safe. I know people on the East Coast, some people in the Midwest, down south, still are drinking straight out the water fountain. I mean, straight out water fountains, turning on the tap water, drinking it. Grandmama down south said, man, but turn on the hose outside, boy, and go drink. Don't come in the house until dinner's done. You're outside drinking from the water hose. We've all done it. And that's still going on right now. This includes antidepressants, painkillers, and antihistamines. Previous research has shown these drugs can have impacts on fish and plants. Well, guess who's eating those fish and plants? Hello? Food chain. That's how these things work, man. You don't even have to just be drinking the water. It's in the fish. It's in the plants for the vegans and for the pescatarians and for the carnivores. All right. So-called white man is trying to make sure nobody escapes. Let's move on. Look at your boy. Slow Biden, man, just can't help but keep it. You know, he can't keep his mouth shut, man. He's always tipping off everyone into his next diabolical plan. Biden says U.S. needs more funding for next pandemic. I mean, this dude is constantly panhandling taxpayers and the government and the damn Federal Reserve for money. I've never seen a president begging for more money than he has. Since he's been in, he's trying to, pass his budget plan. What is that? Hold on, yo. Shalakia. See how Satan be moving, man? Get the hell out of here with this folly. Let me close out. Okay. Nobody's panhandling more than Slow Biden. So now he's giving us a hint that more money is needed. And didn't Gates, didn't Bill Gates just I shared an article last couple episodes back. Bill Gates came out and said, "Oh, this time around you got lucky. I'm going to need $1 billion a year to stop the next one." And now here comes Slow Biden answering. Oh, you know what? See, now I got to go there. Because you know what? It's a shakedown. Esau's too funny. This is a shakedown, man. You see your man Bill Gates came out. Yeah, look at it. Bill Gates come out and say how much it's going to cost. And now Slow Biden's talking about, well, the next one's coming. I need more money. Isn't that not extortion? I need more money to pay off. Man, these damn devils, man. Bill Gates wants $1 billion annually to prevent next pandemic. Biden says the U.S. needs more funding for the next pandemic. Hello. You see the game? You see the game? Here goes the extortioner. And Slow Biden with his old decrepit ass bowing down saying, we need more money. Or the next plague is coming. This is the face of evil right there, man. You see him. I'm not even going to that. I'm not going to that article. We already talked about that. But here you go. You put 2 and 2 together, y'all. Biden says the U.S. needs more funding for the next pandemic. President Slow Biden said on Tuesday the United States has enough DVOC funding to get through at least this year, but it needs more money to plan for the next. To plan. Plan. Okay. We need more money to plan for the second pandemic. I mean, come on. Can it be more clear? There's going to, look, quote, end quote, there's going to be another pandemic. We have to think ahead. Biden said in remarks at the White House to mark availability of the, the thing for young children. Huh? I mean, what more do you need to see? Let's move on. Oh, and look. Just as we're talking about that. National incident declared over polio virus findings in London sewage. Oh, so now they're worried about polio coming back. Monkeypox is back. Wait for the Ebola to return. Wait for, the next strand of the DVOC. UK Health Security Agency says evidence of limited community transmission of the virus is found in wastewater. There we go again with the water. Public health officials have declared a national incident after routine surveillance of wastewater in North and East London found evidence of community transmission of the polio virus for the first time. First time, huh? Interesting. The UK Health Security Agency said waste from the Beckton sewage treatment works in Newham tested positive for jab-derived polio virus in February, and that further positive samples have been detected since. So now they're talking about polio coming back. UK is already on high alert. Imagine that. Last one. Many of y'all heard about this. Uganda says exploration results show it has 31 million tons of gold ore. And you know who's licking their lips, man, and drooling, ready to go seize that? You know who. You know what? Before we go there, let's read this real quick. 2nd Ezra 16. And let's read 37. And we'll read down. Just regarding what Slow Biden is talking about, Bill Gates is talking about, what we just got through seeing what's happening in the UK, what we already know is existing with the hepatitis, with the DVOC, with the monkeypox, with everything else that's going on. Drug-resistant STDs is out. Drug-resistant. Behold, the plagues draw nigh and are not slack. The plagues draw nigh and are not slack. That's why we've seen them back to back to back to back. As when a woman with child in the 9th month bringeth forth her son, with 2 or 3 hours of her birth, great pains compass her womb, which pains, when the child cometh forth, they slack not a moment. You sister that's bear seed or bore seed before, you know what that's like. You counting the seconds. You're doing your Lamaze exercises, and you're taking your 10 breaths before you push for the next one, and you just can't stop. You thinking you catching your breath for the next one, and then boom, here comes the next pain. Waiting for that baby to be birthed. Verse 39. Even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth, and the world shall mourn, and sorrow shall come upon it on every side. So when Slow Biden says we got a plan for the next one, he knows what he's talking about. When Bill Gates says, I need $1 billion a year so we can plan the next one, they know what they're doing. Because the plagues aren't going to slack, man. The Most High is going to make sure that them plagues get out. He said he created the evil, the wicked for the day of destruction. So looking back over here, let me get this other scripture in Micah, because this reminds me, them Ugandans, man, they better watch it. They better watch it. Because here they are out here, telling everybody, hey, we got 31 trillion tons of gold over here. Anybody interested? And maybe, now that they didn't make this come up, man, this will stop them Ugandans from scamming on Facebook. Y'all know what I'm talking about. There's always these old fake bot accounts, and they always talking about they got some Ugandan orphanage and we need money. Yeah, y'all on Facebook, you know what I'm talking about. Uganda says exploration results show it has 31 million tons of gold ore. Uganda on Wednesday said recent exploration surveys have shown it has gold ore deposits of about 31 trillion tons. 31 trillion tons. And it wants to attract big investors to develop the sector hitherto dominated by small wildcat miners. Well, guess what? You're going to get everything you're asking for, because them big investors, so-called white man, he's got a history of colonizing, taking over, breaking covenants, stealing and robbing, especially lands. Look at this. Micah 2:1. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it, because it is in their power in their hand. I mean, this dude does not sleep. He's a robot. Inhuman. He's up all night devising iniquity, thinking how he can rape, pillage, lie, steal, cheat, deceive, persuade, poison, seduce, fornicate, idol worship, sodomize. He's thinking about all of them things. And as soon as that light hits, man, he's putting it to work. He's going right to work. because it's in the power, because it is in the power of their hand. Well, Job 9:24, the earth has been given into the hand of the wicked. He changes the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? You put two and two together and you find out who's running the earth. And then that's a question in Job 9:24. And then you pray to the Lord and you ask him, am I right? Oh, it's the Arabs. The Arabs are white men. It's got to be him. Oh, it's got to be a conglomerate of nations. Oh, it's got to be the Africans. Oh, maybe it's the Chinese and the Japanese. No. You consider everything. Who covered the faces of the judges, and what does it mean when he covered the faces of the judges? Who is this wicked that's in control of the earth? And they devise iniquity, working upon their beds, and when it's morning, they practice it. And what else do they do? Verse 2, they covet fields. Well, go back and watch Black Panther and why they call a white man a colonizer. Everybody picked up on that. You know, while y'all was out there playing dress up with your kente cloth on and, you know, your kufis on. I mean, what happened to that? You Negroes is out there playing dress up, man, like it was Halloween. Talking about your Wakanda forever, whatever it was 4 years ago, when Black Panther came out. I mean, nobody's wearing that no more, huh? It was fun for the night. You felt the little black power, and that was it. But now we're seeing here. One thing you picked up on it, oh, the white man's a colonizer. Well, ask all of the countries around the world, man. Ask Afghanistan, what happened over there? They colonized that, man. They protected them poppy fields, kept the heroin trade going. Once they got everything they needed up out of there, they left. Well, ask the descendants of the Aztecs, the Mayas, the Incas. Ask the descendants of the Maroons. Ask the descendants of the Arawak and the Boricua Indian. I mean, you know, ask around. Ask the Native Americans. Does the white man covet fields? Well, the Ugandans better find out fast. You going out here publicizing, yeah, we got 31 trillion tons of gold ore. Anybody interested? You damn right. The white man's going to come over there and snatch all of that up. Look, verse 2, and they covet fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away, so they oppress a man in his house and even a man in his heritage. With all of this resource right here, that's more than enough to uplift the country of Uganda, to get everybody on track, to get that whole economy flowing, to get them orphanages, you know, built up with match. If they had the resources to do so, man. Right now, they just sitting on a gang of gold. I mean, right now, let's see, what's gold worth? What is gold worth per ounce? Let's see here. Right now they're saying it's $1,800 an ounce, $1,840.31. That's per ounce. Ounce. They're saying they have 31 million tons. I mean, you do the math, ounces to tons. I can't even go there. You're basically talking about an infinite amount of money that could be exchanged for. You think the white man ain't licking his lips saying, ooh, as the Ugandans over there saying they want to attract investors, big investors. See, because they can't do nothing with the gold, so they figure, hey, well, we'll sell it to the white man. He'll give us the money. And you know he ain't giving, he's not going to give you that money what it's worth. He's going to get over it. That's just his nature. Over the last 2 years, aerial exploration was done across the country, followed by geophysical and geochemical surveys and analysis. Solomon Muyita, spokesperson for the Ministry of Energy and Mineral Development, told Reuters. Muyita said an estimated 320,158 tons of refined gold could be extracted from the 31 million tons of ore. So they're saying that they could immediately get 320,000 tons. You know, a ton is like 2,000, 1 ton is like 2,000 pounds. It's 16 ounces to a pound. So I'm so curious just to do the math. So curious just to do the math. See, this is why I get caught up. I'm gonna be. I'm not gonna be before y'all no longer. This is the last one. But look at this. If an ounce is 1840.31 times 16, so a pound of gold is like $29,444. That's a pound, right? Multiply that by 2,000, which is a ton. You see that? 1 ton of gold is 58.8 million. It's worth $58.8 million. Might as well say $58.9 million. 1 ton. And they're saying they can get you, let's just say 320,000. I mean, look at them numbers. That's 100,000. That's a million. That's a trillion. That's a billion. $18.8 billion worth of gold. Or is it billion and trillion? I think that's a trillion. My fault. I mean, just do the math, y'all. But you best believe that white man is covered in them fields, and he's gonna take them by violence if necessary. If he can't work out a deal, if he can't work out a way to swindle them Ugandans out that gold, man, he's gonna get it. He's gonna get it. Wow. So with that, man, I'm gonna go ahead and close out, man. If you haven't wiped your feet before you came in here, man, do your brother a solid, man. Don't do me wrong like that, man. I'm out here working hard, sweating like a slave in the fields of information, trying to bring it back to the people, right? All praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, Yahweh Shai, man. Make sure that you always fear the Most High, keep the commandments, and don't ever shoot your messenger.